Good morning to all. Today's session we are going to discuss about frequency spectrum. Okay, so that is in our analog communication system. Okay, we will go for. So in our last session we have studied or we have learned what is the communication and what is the basic communication system with the block diagram. Okay, in our last class we had just what is a communication. So the communication block diagram. Okay. So in simple way, just to recollect previous session. So what is communication? Communication is equal to the transfer or exchange of information between 2 points through a link is equal to the communication. Communication means just transfer of information between 2 points, that is equal to the communication. So next one is the block diagram of communication system. In this block diagram of communication system, okay, there is a mainly 3 elements. Those 3 elements are, one is the transmitter, next one is the communication channel, next one is the receiver. These are the 3 main basic elements in a communication system. So transmitter means which transmit the information, which transmit the information to the channel, that is communication channel. Okay, here the communication channel may be either wire communication or wireless communication. So depends on application, either we are selecting the wire communication or wireless communication. So this from this communication channel, so the information is again transferred to the receiver ending. Okay, that receiver ending, the receiver will receiving the information. Okay, so the best example for this communication is equal to our telephone. Okay, telephones are otherwise mobile phones. Okay, or otherwise TV. So these are the best examples for communication. Okay, so in the basic communication system having the 3 main elements, those are transmitter, receiver, next one is the communication channel. So today's session we are go for, so the main objectives of today's session is, so frequency spectrum and usage of frequencies at different applications. So that means, so here we are using the communication. Okay, so this communication is to be transferred. That means, so from this communication we are transfer the information. So this transfer of information at what frequency? Okay, either it is in low frequency range or otherwise high frequency range. So based on the application or frequency ranges, we are using the different types of communication channels. So that's why here we are learn the frequency spectrum, and so where we are using those frequencies at different applications. Okay, next go for the next topic is what is modulation. So in our last session, so in a transmitter we are using the modulation. So in this case we have studied what is modulation and what is the need for modulation. So these are the main objectives in our session today. Okay, that is frequency spectrum and their applications, and what is modulation and need for modulation. Okay, we will go for frequency spectrum and usage of frequencies for different application. Okay, so the frequency range which is used for radio communication purpose is known as radio frequency spectrum. Either it is equal to the, it is also called as a frequency spectrum or otherwise radio frequency spectrum. So that means the frequency range which is used for radio communication purpose, that means based on the communication we are using the different frequencies, so that spectrum is called as a radio spectrum. So that means here we are using the frequency range which is used for radio communication. So the main one is here we are using for the radio communication purpose, so that's why it is known as a radio frequency spectrum. So the entire radio frequency spectrum is divided into number of sub-frequency bands, and each band is used for a particular communication system. So that means the entire frequency spectrum is, suppose this one is our frequency spectrum. Okay, in this entire frequency spectrum is divided into some frequency bands. So these some frequency bands, each band is used for some particular application or a particular communication system. Okay, so next the various ranges of frequencies used in radio frequency spectrums are listed in the table for So in this table here we are in this table we are representing or denote the frequencies along with the wavelengths are also shown on the left side. Okay, in this frequency spectrum in next slide, so there is a table. Okay, this table listed the frequencies at the same time wavelengths. Okay, that is equal to our frequency spectrum. So the frequency range which is used for radio communication. So radio communication purpose we are using the frequency. That frequency range is called as a radio frequency spectrum. So this radio frequency spectrum is divided into some sub frequency bands. Okay, each frequency band is allotted for particular communication system. Okay, look at the table. Okay, so look at this table. So mainly, so in right hand side we go for wavelength. Okay, that is wavelength. Here is equal to the frequency. Okay, so mainly we are using low frequency, medium frequency, high frequency. Okay, so here is equal, low frequency range is from 30 Hz to 300 kHz. Okay, so next medium frequency range is from 300 kHz to 300 megahertz. So that means it will start from 30 Hz, end with the 300 kilohertz. Okay, medium frequency started from 300 kilohertz to 300 megahertz. That means 0 kilohertz megahertz. Next, high frequency range is from 300 megahertz to 300 gigahertz. Okay, so the wavelength of these particular frequencies is started from, so minimum is start from 0.7 into 10 power minus 6 meters up to maximum is equal to the 10 power 7 meters. Okay, in this case mainly for communication purpose, here we are using the low frequency range. Okay, so that is for our video or audio signal, message signal, or otherwise modulating signal purpose. Next, high frequency is for carrier signal. Okay, so based on different applications, either we are selecting the different frequency bands, that is early low pass filter or very low pass, early low frequency, very high frequency, ultra high frequency, and so on. Okay, so it is also millimeter waves. So in this case we are considering millimeter waves, that is from 10 power minus 3 meters to 10 power minus 4 meters. So that's why it is called as a millimeter waves. Next one is, so visible light. So visible light is at, so that is equal to the 0.7 into 10 power minus 6 meters. Okay, so these are equal to infrared range. The infrared range is equal to the 10 power minus 6 meters. Next, the visible, last one is the X-rays or gamma rays or otherwise cosmic rays. These are the different frequency spectrum. So in this frequency spectrum, just we are remembering some of the frequencies is equal to, so low frequency range, next high frequency range, next based on our application, either we are using microwave frequency or otherwise very high frequencies. Okay, here the wavelength, that means here we are in this table we are representing, in this table we are representing the frequency and the wavelength. So here what is the relationship between frequency and wavelength is equal to, the wavelength is denoted with lambda. Okay, so lambda is given as, that is lambda is equal to c by f. Here c is equal to the velocity of light, that is equal to 3 into 10 power 8 meters per second. Here f is equal to the frequency in terms of hertz. So that is the relation, that is when frequency is increases, the wavelength is to be decreases. So that's why, so very high frequency range, the lambda is equal to the small. Okay, that means the inverse relationship between the, so wavelength and frequency. Okay, this one is our frequency spectrum. So this frequency spectrum, radio frequency spectrum is divided into number of frequency bands. Each band is to be allotted for each communication system. Okay, here is, so there is a clear representation in this case. So extremely low frequency, okay, extremely low frequency start from 30 to 300 Hz. So the wavelength is equal low frequency, that means the wavelength is equal to the high wavelength, that is 10 power 7 to 10 power 6. So next, voice frequency range, that is 300 to 3000 Hz or otherwise 300 to 3 kilohertz. So the wavelength for this voice frequency is equal to 10 power 6 to 10 power 5 meters. Okay, next one is low frequency. Low frequency is started from 30 kilohertz to 300 kilohertz. high frequency range is from 3 megahertz to 30 megahertz. Okay, so mainly we are remembering this voice frequency range, that is 300 to 3000 hertz. Next one, low frequency range is from 30 kilohertz to 300 kilohertz. Next, high frequency is from 3 megahertz to 30 megahertz. So remaining based on applications, we are learn those frequencies. Okay, mainly we are remembering this voice frequency, low frequency. Next one is high frequency ranges. Okay, so next one is applications. So the applications of these frequency ranges, that is for very low frequencies, long distance point to point and submarine communication. So where we are using this very low frequency, so very low frequency is for long distance point to point and submarine communication. So low frequency range frequency spectrum is used at the application marine and aeronautical navigation. Okay, so medium frequency, here medium frequency is from AM broadcasting. Okay, high frequency range is from telephone and telegraph communications. So next, very high frequency, so very high frequency is for FM broadcasting, that is 88 to 108 megahertz, television broadcasting of the channel 2 to 13, that is 54 to 216 megahertz. Okay, next ultra frequency range, here ultra frequency range is from 300 to 3000 megahertz. So the main application for this frequency range is equal to the television broadcasting of the channels, that is 14 to 83, that is 54 to 216 megahertz, cellular telephones, radar, microwave and satellite communication system. That means, so most of the communications ultra high frequency ranges is for so cellular and television, next microwave and satellite communication. Okay, so for very high frequency range, so the channels broadcasting by this television is from 2 to 13. Okay, so remaining is at ultra high frequency range. These are the main applications of these frequency ranges. Okay, low frequency range is for marine and aeronautical navigation, medium frequency range for AM broadcasting. Okay, that is frequency range is from 535 kilohertz to 1605 kilohertz. Okay, next go for the modulation. Okay, so this one is our frequency spectrum. That means the total radio frequency spectrum is divided into sub frequency bands. Each frequency band is for different communication system. Okay, so in our session, that is low frequency is for marine and aeronautical application, and medium frequency is from AM broadcasting. Next, where ultra high frequency is from television broadcasting. Next, submarine applications, that is satellite communication and so on. So next, go for the modulation. So here is what is modulation. So modulation means to change. What is the meaning of modulation? To change. Here we note down the definitions of one or more than one. Okay, here the definition one is the process by which a low frequency modulating signal is superimposed on a very high frequency carrier signal is known as modulation. Okay, so that means low frequency signal is to be superimposed on a high frequency signal. Okay, high frequency carrier signal is known as a modulation. The process by which a low frequency modulating signal is superimposed on a very high frequency carrier signal is known as a modulation. So another definition for this modulation is the process by which some characteristics of carrier signal is varied in accordance with the instantaneous amplitude of modulating signal is known as modulation. So that means, so the high frequency carrier signal characteristics is varied in accordance with the instantaneous amplitude of the modulating signal. So that means some characteristics of carrier signal means, suppose those characteristics are either amplitude, frequency and phase. Suppose assume as these are the characteristics of the carrier signal. So the amplitude of the carrier signal is varied in accordance with the instantaneous amplitude of modulating signal is known as modulation. Okay, is it clear? So modulation means, so low frequency signal is superimposed on a high frequency signal is known as modulation, or otherwise some characteristics of carrier signal is varied in accordance with the instantaneous amplitude of modulating signal is known as modulation. Okay. So next go for the need for modulation. So in this need for modulation, okay, so we know that modulation means low frequency modulating signal is superimposed on high frequency carrier signal is known as modulation. So what is the main need for modulation? So modulation is extremely necessary in communication systems due to the following reasons. The first one is to reduce the height of the antenna. Okay, to reduce the height of the antenna. Second one is to increase the range of communication, to avoid mixing of signals, to allow multiplexing of signals, to allow the adjustments in the bandwidth, to improve the quality of the reception. There are main 6 need for modulation. That is, the first one is go for the to reduce the height of the antenna. Okay, in communication system, compulsory there is a need of transmitting and receiving antenna. Okay, so based on antenna, based on the height of the antenna, the communication is to be going on. Okay, so that's why, so the main factor in modulation is main factor in this modulation is also one of them is to reduce the height of the antenna. Okay, so how to reduce these antenna? Okay, for efficient radiation of a signal. Okay, for efficient radiation of a signal, the minimum height of the antenna is 1/4 wavelength. 1/4 wavelength. That means for efficiently radiate the signal, that is from communication channel, we are radiate the signal, that is from transmitting antenna, we are radiate the signal. For efficient radiation of a signal, the minimum length of the antenna, is 1/4 wavelength. L is equal to the lambda by 4. Okay, therefore the height of the antenna is equal to the, that is h is equal to height. So that's why height of the antenna h is equal to 1/4 wavelength, that is equal to the lambda by 4. 1 by 4 means quarter. So h is equal to the lambda by 4. So already we know that lambda is equal to the c by f by 4. Then that is equal to c by, h is equal to the c by 4 into f. That is the height of the antenna. So the for efficient radiation of a signal, the minimum height of the antenna is 1/4 wavelength. Okay, here is example. Okay, calculate height of the antenna for frequency 15 kilohertz radio signal. So that means the height of the antenna is equal to the lambda by 4, that is equal to c by f into 4, that is equal to, already we know that c is equal to 3 into 10 power 8 meters. Already given frequency is equal to 15 kilohertz, that is equal to 5000 meters. That means, so the frequency range is equal to the 15 kilohertz. For this frequency range, okay, frequency value, the height of the antenna h is equal to the 5000 meters. That means 5 kilometers. Okay, it is impossible to build such a huge antenna, so it is impracticable to radiate audio signal directly into the space. So that's why there is a need to reducing this much of height. Okay, so that's why compulsory there is a need to reducing the height of the antenna. So for that purpose we go for the modulation. Okay, for that purpose, so if the height of the antenna is equal to up to 5 kilometers, to reduce this much of height of the antenna, we will go for the modulation. So that's why for efficient radiation of a signal, the minimum length of the antenna is 1/4 wavelength. Okay, next go for to increasing the range of communication. So that means the transfer of information is to be increased for long distances. Okay, that is the to increasing the range of communication. So that means the energy of a wave depends upon its frequency. Okay, so the energy of the wave is depends upon its frequency. That means it is in low frequency range or high frequency range. Based on that, so the energy is to be, energy of the wave is depends. Okay, the greater the frequency of the wave, the greater is the energy possessed by it. That means, so for example, when we eat more, so the energy gained by us is more. So that's why in the same way, in this case also, when the greater the frequency of the wave, so the greater the energy possessed by it. As the audio signal frequencies are small, these cannot be transmitted over large distances if radiated directly into the space, because audio frequency means that is equal to 20 to 20 kilohertz frequency range only. That means those are the low frequency signal. Okay, so these, when we are transmitting these low frequency signal directly into the space, okay, the efficient of these signals is to be less. Okay, so that's why at low frequencies radiation is poor and the signal gets highly attenuated. So that means when you are directly transmitted the low frequency signal into the space, okay, so the at low frequency ranges the radiation is to be poor and signal gets highly attenuated. That means highly disturbed, or otherwise their inversional signal along with noise is to be more. So therefore baseband signal cannot be transmitted directly over long distance. So modulation effectively increases the frequency of the signal to be radiated and thus increases the distance over which signal can be transmitted faithfully. Okay, I think it is clear for you. Okay, to increasing the range of communication. Simple way. Suppose when you are transmitting the audio signal, that is low frequency signal, directly into the space. Okay, when you are directly transmitting these information directly into the space, the radiation is to be poor. Radiation is to be poor and it gets attenuated. So that's why to reducing these poor and attenuations of the signals, so these low frequency signal is to be superimposed on high frequency signal. That means it will be increasing the high frequency range. When the frequency range is to be increases means the signal energy is also more. Okay, so then, so this high frequency signal is then radiated into the space. So this high frequency range signal is having the, so more radiation power. So that's why it is easily to transmit the signal with less attenuation. So that means here low frequency is to be superimposed on high frequency, that is equal to the modulation. So that's why, so to increasing the range of communication there is a need for modulation, because when you are transmitting the low frequency signal directly into the space, so it gets attenuated. To reducing this attenuation, we are transmitting these low frequency signal by superimposed on high frequency signals. Then this process may be equal to the modulation. So there is a need to increasing the range of communication. Next, go for to avoid mixing of signal. Next need for modulation is to avoid mixing of a signal. All sound signals are concentrated within the range from 20 Hz to 20 kHz. That means sound signal or otherwise audio signal. So the range for audio signal is from 20 Hz to 20 kHz. So the transmission of baseband signal from various sources causes the mixing of the signal and then it is difficult to separate at the receiver ending. For example, so at a time 2 or more members are communicated to their respective receivers. Okay, so those signals may be audio information only. So this audio information range is from 20 to 20 kilohertz. Suppose there is a 3 members ready to transfer the information within the frequency range of 20 to 20 kilohertz. So when we are transmitting these signals from various causes, various sources, there may be mixing of the signal is to be occur, and then it is difficult to separate at the receiver ending. When there is a mixing of the signal is to be occur, so it is difficult to separate the signal at the receiver ending. So modulating different signal sources by different carrier frequencies avoid mixing of signals. So that's why we are modulating the signal. So modulating the different sources by different carrier frequencies to avoiding the mixing of signals. For example, there is a 3% is to be transmitted. The frequency range is equal to the low frequency range only. Low frequency 1, low frequency 2. Assume as 2 persons. Okay, so this first person with superimposed with high frequency is from 30 kilohertz. Assume as 30 kilohertz. For low frequency, for second user, so it is the carrier frequency is equal, suppose assume as a 40 kilohertz. That means automatically the frequency range of the user is to be changed. Then so to avoid the mixing of the signal, and it is easy to separate the signal at the receiver end. So that's why to avoiding the mixing of a signal, here we are using the different carrier signal, different carrier frequencies to avoiding the mixing of a signal. So how to apply these different carrier signals is again through modulation process only. Okay, next go for the another need to allow multiplexing of a signal. To allow the multiplexing of a signal. So the process by which several information signals are transmitted through the same physical channel is known as multiplexing. That means the process several information signals, that is multiple signals, are transmitted through the same physical channel is known as multiplexing. So the modulation permits multiplexing to be used. The common examples of multiplexing are the number of television and radio channels. Number of television and radio channel. Okay. So that means when we are using the modulation, it allows the multiplexing the signals. Multiplexing means several information signals are transmitted through a same channel, through a one channel. Suppose in our television there is a more than one channel. So that means more than two channels. Suppose in our television there is a 1, 2, 3. There is a 3 channels. So 1, 2 and 3. So these 3 channels are passes through only one cable, that is equal to the coaxial cable. That means there is a 3 inputs. So these 3 sources information is transmitted along through the only one cable, that is equal to the coaxial cable. So this way of multiplexing is to be possible by the modulation. Okay. So that's why the best example for the multiplexing of the signal is number of television and radio channels at a time based on our frequency. Okay, we are getting the particular frequency range of signal at receiver ending. Okay, that means at transmitter ending we are mixing we are multiplexing the 2 or more signal with different frequency ranges. So these multiplex signal is transmitted over a single communication channel. Okay, at the receiver ending, based on their frequency they are separated. So that's why this process is also done by the modulation, that is to allow the multiplexing of a signal. Next fourth one is to allow the multiplexing of a signal. Next one is go for fifth one, that is allows adjustment in the bandwidth. Okay, suppose if you want to change the channel bandwidth, that adjustment is also done through a modulation. How to adjust this bandwidth? So the bandwidth of a modulating signal may be made smaller or larger than the original signal. Suppose the original signal frequency range is from 20 to 20 kilohertz. Okay, so by this modulation, either we are decreasing this bandwidth from this 20 to 20 kilohertz range, or otherwise greater than the 20 to 20 kilohertz range. That means signal to noise ratio in the receiver, which is a function of the signal bandwidth, can be improved by proper control of the bandwidth at the modulating stage. Okay, at the modulating stage we can control of the bandwidth at the modulating stage. So we are getting the signal to noise ratio in the receiver, which is a function of the signal bandwidth. That means the signal to noise ratio is to be increased. That means suppose if you want to transmit the data, it is equal to the 20 kilohertz range. Okay, so by the modulation, suppose we have to increasing the bandwidth, then that is equal to the 30 kilohertz. When increasing the bandwidth means, so at the receiver ending, so the function of the signal to noise ratio totally depend upon the bandwidth. So this bandwidth control function is at the source end only. So that's why the adjustment of the bandwidth is also allowed at the modulation time. Okay, next go for the improves the quality of reception. So the communication using modulation techniques such as frequency modulation, pulse code modulation reduce the effect of noise to great extent. Reduction in the noise improves the quality of reception. That means which improves the quality of reception means, so that is equal to it reduces the noise. It reduces the noise. That means when reducing the noise means it increases the quality. It increases the quality. So that means, so the communication using modulation techniques such as, so how to reduce these noise means by using different modulation techniques. So suppose the modulation techniques examples is frequency modulation, pulse code modulation, or otherwise some other techniques. Based on these techniques we are reducing the noise. When there is a reduction in the noise means there is a increasing in the quality of reception. So these are the main elements are need for modulation. There is a 6 methods. 6 ways we are increasing the quality of the signal. That means the need for modulation. That is, the first one is to reduce the height of the antenna. Next one is, second is to increasing the range of communication, to avoiding mixing of the signal, to allow the multiplexing of a signal, to allow adjustment in the bandwidth, to improve the quality of reception. So totally, so in this session we will learn, okay, so what is frequency spectrum, okay, next what is modulation, next go for what is the need for modulation. So the need for modulation is, there is a 6 method, that is reduce the antenna, increasing the range of communication, avoid the mixing of the signal, allowing the multiplexing of a signal, allow the adjustment in the bandwidth, and improve the quality of a reception. Thank you.